Hello, morning. Sorry about the jerky video today. I'm back home, just using the iPad again, probably for the last time, just to record the 29th of January on these my letters that my dad wrote to himself back in 1999 to mark the start of the millennium. I'm his son Kevin. Jimmy passed away 2 or 3 years ago, sadly, at 88, and wrote this long, big book, which I ought to show you really. Look, here it is. It's a big old thick thing full of 365 letters that he wrote every day, normally commenting on the news and TV. So today, I don't know, I think it was called a maintenance grant, but the government decided to give children in secondary schools £40 a week or month, I think it might have been, as something called an educational maintenance grant, if I remember, just to help children stay on in the sixth form. And Jimmy was just having some views about that, perhaps kids will stay there until they retire if they keep getting money to stay on. So then he said something interesting, profound, which never happened. He said that he was 66 when he started writing these letters, 2 years younger than me, which is a bit worrying. Anyway, he said he was going to retire at 70, which never actually happened. He kept driving well into his, shortly before he died, sadly. He did keep driving, although I think his driving was becoming a bit more erratic towards the end, sadly. But he said traffic wardens in Canada were being issued with cameras in their caps that could record the number plates and license plates of cars, which now, of course, we have body cams and things, and it's probably a lot more prevalent, really, to do such things. Although in 1999 it was pretty new, but he was recalling the George Orwell 1984 novel and saying that George Orwell would be sort of smiling in his grave, really, and saying, "I told you so." Another one was national lottery funding that has featured before, I think, with Jimmy, that we were going to give £70,000 to some Tibetan monks to dig trenches and provide spare parts for their machinery, apparently. And Jimmy was, I suppose you could argue, perhaps a little bit less than generous, but said this is a national lottery, not an international lottery. So maybe he has a small point there. Lastly, he was saying he used to drink tea. One of my lovely memories of Jimmy was that if we went anywhere, he'd always, every 2 hours, we'd stop, we'd have a cup of tea somewhere. He was a great tea drinker, and I'm never quite sure whether it was the tea or the fact we just sat down and chatted, which was the great thing, maybe both, I suppose. And he was saying, doctors have now said that drinking tea is good for you, so that's nice. And Jimmy said he had his blood pressure taken, and it was that of a 20-year-old, so knowing my dad, who was a little bit of a hypochondriac, I'm sure he was very pleased with that, really. So, but he said he didn't have the looks to match. So that's the 29th of January 1999. National lottery funding, educational maintenance grants for sixth formers. National lottery funding, sorry, did I say that? And drinking tea. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing if you do. And hope you're just enjoying these little ditties. Probably back to normal tomorrow with a slightly more normal format, but thanks for listening while I've been away. Thanks. You take care. Mind, there you go.